Hello again. Tonight I have my final review of the evening, and this is going to be on War for Cybertron Siege number 6, Topshot and Flak, the final Micromaster team of Wave 1. These guys are Autobots, unlike the last pair I just reviewed. They are part of the Battle Patrol Micromaster team. And just like all the others, they have robot modes, vehicle modes, combined weapon mode, which I gotta say this looks a lot better than the cars. Those just look like two robots hugging with their feet sticking out, so much better looking. So as per the usual, we'll open the box up, take a look at the bots and all of their modes, and give some thoughts on the toys themselves. All right, here we have our two little military vehicles. You have Topshot and Flak. Topshot is some sort of tank-like vehicle, though, has a proper cab in the front, but it's got this rotating turret with cannon on the back that does fully articulate, which is nice. Cannon goes up and down, turret spins, so that's really cool. Flak is like some sort of missile launching vehicle. It does have a static position for the launchers, though you could always untab them if you wanted to reposition them a little bit. It's up to you. Honestly, Flak comes off as looking a little too small, especially when compared to Topshot. He's much shorter of a vehicle. So he's very tiny even compared to other Micromasters. But they do have these really nice color schemes, which remind me of the old, the Minicon teams from Armada, the military vehicle ones, kind of very similar in coloration. So yeah, these two, they don't roll nearly as well as some of the other Micromasters. They kind of just drag along for the most part. Though they do have wheels. Out of the three Micromaster teams that we have so far, I think I dislike these guys' vehicle modes the most. They seem less well put together than the sports cars and the jets. Yeah, you get much more of an impression of robot first, vehicle mode second here. They don't look very convincing. So that is a shame. I wish these looked a little better, but I just can't say I'm really feeling them. So rather than keep staring at these, let's go ahead and transform them to robot mode. We're going to start with Topshot here. First thing you want to do, rotate his turret bit around. It's going to free up these long gray pieces. And you want to flip his feet out along with the long gray pieces, like that. And then you're going to bring these back to form heel struts for him. And rotate the turret back down, and then turn around, and then you're going to swing his shoulders downward, separate his arms from his body, and freeze those up. Now his head looks like it should articulate. It's actually kind of crooked. It's kind of facing to the side a little bit, but I can't seem to get it to budge. I don't know if it's not supposed to turn or if it's maybe just stuck because of the paint, but I don't want to force the issue too much because I might start scraping a bunch of paint off of it. But yeah, he's a decent looking little robot. He's got the ball joints and the shoulders and hips, bendable knees. He's got this weird backpack that goes over his head thing. Kind of reminds me of one of the Constructicons there. But all in all, he's decent. Got a good amount of paint. This whole pelvis piece is painted blue. Chest and helmet are tan. Got some silver accents on the chest there, on the abs. And then a blue face. And yeah, doesn't look bad. Looks like standard military type Micromaster. Next we're going to move on to Flak. He's a bit simpler. You're going to just unplug these, swing them out, separate them. Those are his feet right there. This top bit, you're going to rotate back against his back. That's going to pull his head back with it, so you want to pull his head back forward separate from the backpack like that. And then the arms are already freed up to rotate. So Flak continues to look really tiny. Even in robot mode, he is still a little bit shorter than old Topshot there. He's got a pretty good sized backpack that'll probably tend to make him fairly back heavy because of how far it sticks out in the back there. But he looks good. Got a lot of paint apps on the main body, just like Topshot. Red, gray, tan helmet, red face, and even like orange goggles. So that's nice. Treads are painted, so they look good here. And again, simple but satisfying. Here's the two of them standing side by side. And they definitely look like they're part of a team, even though their primary colors are completely different. All right, finally, just like the other Micromasters in this line, these two have a third weapon mode that they combine to form. So I'm going to show you how to achieve that. I'm going to start with old Topshot here. So I'm going to lift his cannon up because that's going to become a handle. I'm going to flip his like heel spur things straight out. Connect his feet back together. You're going to rotate him 180 at the waist like this. And then you're going to bend his feet like all the way and make his heel spurs kind of go into these grooves on his pelvic area there. Just have him latch in there and latch into the little notches on his chest to really secure him in there. So there's that part, kind of the handle, the back. And take old Flak, gonna push his head back down into his backpack and then flip his little 5mm peg out like that. Connect his feet back together to form the actual barrel of the weapon, like so. And then you're simply just going to connect these two end to end. So this peg goes into this hole right here, and then he has tabs on his shoulders, which are going to go into slots on his shoulders. So you got to make sure everything kind of lines up right. Might take a little bit of fiddling to get it just right. And that is the weapon mode. Decided to let Hound be my weapons bearer once again. You can see this forms a pretty good sized, thick gun. In fact, I have to have Hound hold it with two arms, otherwise his elbows aren't strong enough to keep it held up. The top of the gun looks really bad. As you can see, their heads and everything. Doesn't look very good. But from the side profile and the front of it, they look pretty decent. I like the paint that they bothered to put on the bottom of his feet there. It says pretty heavy. Like I said, Hound has a hard time holding it. But all in all, this comes off as looking as a more competent weapon than the race car team's weapon mode did. I would say, if I had to rate them, this would fall somewhere between the race car patrol and the air assault patrol. So again, not my preferred way of displaying these guys. I'm definitely going to keep them in their robot modes, but makes for a pretty decent weapon. Can't complain too much. This weapon mode is kind of fiddly. It does like to try to separate at the two halves there. So you got to make sure you're not putting force in the wrong places. It looks a little crooked too. So again, it's really not perfect, and it really continues to give the impression that these weapon modes were just kind of like an afterthought thing. And I think the Micromasters would have been better off overall just omitting them completely. Just doing what they do best, being little robots that turn into little vehicles. But anyway, that's just how I feel about it. Feel free to let me know in the comments section below what you think of these toys. Do you think I'm being too hard on the weapon mode? Can you see yourself picking these toys up if you see them on a shelf? I'd love to hear your guys' opinions on these things. If you enjoyed this review, go ahead and toss it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of my reviews or even some of my Transformers discussion videos, be sure to hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell to make sure you get updated whenever I release a new video. And anywho, with all that said, I will see you all next time.